In the 1930s, the BBC established radio transmitter sites in East and Central Africa, thereby positioning itself as a model for broadcasting in British colonies and beyond. In the post-colonial era, the BBC continued to train, equip, and support African broadcasters while maintaining a strong presence through African-focused programming. Some nations fully embraced the BBC model, while others developed hybrid broadcasting systems integrating British, local, and transnational influences. In this special episode of the book series, grounded in decolonial perspective, we explore the evolution of African radio structures, funding models, editorial policies, and programming strategies. We interrogate the BBC's enduring influence on African media, examining how contemporary local broadcasters negotiate, adapt, and resist its legacy. I quote three scholars who recently published a book entitled The BBC's Legacy in Africa, Continuities and Change. This book was published by Routledge and can be accessed on the link that is in the description panel of this video. Enjoy. Gentlemen, thank you so much for making the time. Welcome to the show. I would just want us to start with some introductions. So I'm going to give each of you an opportunity to just introduce yourself, tell us your research interest, what you've been teaching, and the kind of stuff that you've been working on right before the publication of this book. I will begin with Dr. Albert.
Okay, no, thank you so much for the opportunity to have this discussion. So my main background, I think, is journalism, and so I've studied journalism from at both undergrad and postgraduate levels. And my inspiration to join journalism, I think it was a story that comes from the civil war in Mozambique. So when I moved back from Zimbabwe to Malawi. We stayed along the borders of Malawi and Mozambique at the time when civil wars had just come to an end. So we had challenges living along these borders because of the bandits, the Renamo bandits, who were crossing over into the country at night and storming our homes and stealing things, making us to sleep out of our homes. So, but then I think the question that I had at that particular time was, where is the media? So I could not see our struggles being captured in the media. And at that particular time, the state media was the main broadcaster in the country. So this inspired me to say, I think I can do journalism. So I ended up studying journalism at undergrad and then postgraduate. But then moving on, I happened to, when I was working within the newsroom for about 10 years, it was a moment or so of transformations within the newsroom, especially social media was coming in, and at our news organization we had studied what is called digital first, trying to utilize the social media platforms to promote the print newspaper. So I was part of the team that was put in place at that particular time to promote the digital first through mobile phones that were purchased for all of us. And then when I went for my master's, I was really interested in studying this, say, how can we use the digital platforms to move forward. But then I ended up studying the regulation of the press, because we are really challenged by the social media and how it was transitioning like the way we do our journalism and how it's regulated. So I ended up studying that, and that has been driving my interest to see what is actually happening in the newsroom. How are these technologies influencing and affecting the traditional newsroom, and how are these newsrooms adapting or adjusting? So, and this inspired my first book, co-edited with former in which we are looking at how our technology is transforming the newsrooms in the global south. But now moving on to how did we end up with this project. Now it speaks to the work that I've been teaching, especially at Wits and Edinburgh, where I teach politics, covering the colonial history and the transitioning from colonial period to post-colonial Africa that we have now. So the debates about do we have an African state? So, but that question that I used to enjoy to examine my students on was also a same question that we also had when we met with Anthony Gunde and also Jimmy Kainje, to say, do we have an African media? And this is also the question that also my former professor Tawana Kupe at Wits used to raise in class. So we said, I think there's a good project that we can do, and then also got like a stimulus at Edinburgh when I joined the Institute for Advanced Studies in the Humanities, IASH, where so they do a lot of decolonial studies. So we ended up saying, I think we have got a project to do here, and with my colleagues we discussed, and then we see this book as something that we have to pursue. But we could not write a monograph because we really wanted to see what is happening across the continent, and what are people saying about like the broadcasting in their own individual countries as a starting point for us to think of a monograph.